It's Physical Media Friday.
In a small town in Arizona, a group of road pirates patrol the highways looking for street machines to acquire through questionable racing tactics. The gang also isn't afraid of committing murder, having killed a local teen in a jealous rage over the kid's girlfriend, portrayed by the lovely Sherilyn Fenn. Fast forward, and new kid Jake, played by Charlie Sheen, shows up in town, befriending the dead teen's girlfriend, who is now stalked by the gang leader known as Packard, played by Nick Cassavetes. Jealousy ensues, but Packard and his gang have a bigger issue. A mysterious and seemingly indestructible car shows up, turning the tides of the road pirates' game, and in some cases, ending it permanently. Local sheriff and possibly the real star of the show, Randy Quaid, can't get enough evidence to stop the gang, but never stops pursuing them. Now his attention is turned to the ghostly vigilante in the black turbo. Essentially, The Crow with cars, this fun 80s romp fest has an amazing soundtrack, great characters, and some fun car races. Maybe even a little romance. Something for everyone. This is the first domestic Blu-ray release in the US, previously available on special edition DVD and some low-rated overseas Blu-ray releases in years past. The Wraith comes to us via the Vestron Video Collectors series presented by Lionsgate. Vestron Video was a home video company responsible for releasing many fan-favorite movies over the years, including Maximum Overdrive, An American Werewolf in London, Waxwork, The Gate, and dozens of others. The branding of this series isn't as pronounced as last week's Paramount Presents entry for another 48 hours, but it is no less exciting to see these iconic films restored and released. The slipcover identifies the series, but that is where the branding ends. I do rather like the shiny foil look of the slipcover, though. The case doesn't have the branding and unfortunately comes to us as an eco-friendly standard Blu-ray case. This is easily replaceable, and we'll do that right now to ensure no damage comes to the disc jacket. The presentation is pretty sparse, no double-sided jacket, no specialty inserts other than a digital copy code you redeem at lionsgate.com. I have no idea what service you have to use to enjoy this digital copy, as I rip, store, and deliver my own digital copies of films. The disc itself bears no collector series nomenclature and features a full cover presentation that is obviously pulled from the disc insert. It looks fine, but I would have preferred that they changed it up, maybe use the protagonist cover used on alternative posters and DVD releases. And that's it. For a collector's edition, it is pretty sparse. I always prefer to have something tangible on the inside, a little booklet, a collectible place card, but let's hope the extras make up for the difference. The 1986 film was released on Blu-ray on July 20th, 2021 at the MSRP of $17.99 US. Currently on Amazon, the disc is going for $12.69. This was previously released on Blu-ray in Europe and Asia over the years, but this is supposedly a brand new restoration. The video is MPEG-4 AVC at 1080p resolution with the original aspect ratio of 1.85 to 1. On disc, the film clocks in at about 22 gigabytes, and with the extras included, it makes this a BD50 disc. Windows identifies the video bitrate as 33,893 kbps. Audio is presented only in English via Dolby Digital 2.0. The original film soundtrack was Dolby Stereo. Subtitles are available for English, English SDH, and Spanish. The video is self-proclaimed as digitally restored, but no further details are given. Scanning through the film, I would say that this is easily the best the title has ever looked. You can see for yourself the quality of the transfer, and we'll throw some side-by-side in from the DVD, upscaled for this video, so you can appreciate the upgrade in the picture. Darks, brights, they all feel solid and clean. The picture feels consistent across the film. The Dolby Digital audio well represents the film as I remember it. It doesn't appear that any sound effects suffered remastering swap outs, and the great music soundtrack feels presented in its original form without a blatant remastering, and I appreciate this. My micro reviews are not designed to be all-encompassing, and as always, I recommend the detailed reviews of our favorite Blu-ray review site, Blu-ray.com. I'll include a link to their review in the description below. For movies I have a real vested interest in, like The Wraith, I love getting bonus material. Commentaries, featurettes. The more interesting information I can get from a disc release, the better. My own imported DVD had nothing in the way of extras, but when I got it, I was assured this was the best quality video available at the time. A special edition DVD was released in 2010 and actually had a pretty good set of bonus material on it. The following bonus materials are included in this release. Those shown in yellow are new to this release. Audio commentary with writer-director Mike Marvin. Audio commentary with actors David Sherrill and Jamie Bozian. Tales from the Desert, an interview with writer-director Mike Marvin. Rughead Speaks, an interview with actor Clint Howard. Ride of the Future, interviews with stunt coordinator Buddy Joe Hooker and transportation coordinator Gary Hellerstein. The Ghost Car, interviews with visual effects producer Peter Curran, effects animator Kevin Kuchever. Isolated score selections featuring audio interview with co-composer J. Peter Robinson. The Wraith filming locations, then and now featurette. Alternate title sequence. Still gallery. Theatrical trailer. TV spots. As always with these micro reviews, I'll answer the important question. Do I still have to keep my original release on disc? For those upgrading from the DVD, this is a direct replacement. You won't miss anything retiring that original standard definition DVD, and you get all of the new material as a bonus. On a personal note, before doing this review, I listened to both audio commentaries front to back. I'm a huge fan. And while the original writer-director Mike Marvin's commentary comes to us recycled from the original DVD release, and by the way, it's excellent. It's the sort of thing that you would want to hear about locations, problems filming, how they did this, how they shot that. It's really good stuff. It's interesting. There's a few extra stories in there. I really liked that one. The new audio commentary comes via what is apparently a Zoom call or a video conference call between the actors. And these are the actors that played Skank and Gutter Boy. And if those aren't the greatest characters ever, I mean, those were the Beavis and Butthead way before Beavis and Butthead, right? So they have a lot of great stories. It's funny, most of what they talk about, you don't really need to be watching the video to appreciate. Every now and then they'll sync their story with what's being shown on the screen. But for the most part, honestly, you could rip that into an MP3 and just listen to it in your car on your way to work or something. You really don't need the video behind it to appreciate the audio commentary. But I really, really enjoyed it. And I think that's a big bonus feature that if you're on the fence about upgrading, that might be something to push you over the edge. I did peek into some of the other featurettes. Several of these, of course, I've seen before. But it was nice to have a pretty decent stock of good stuff for this fan favorite film.
The Wraith is a defining characteristic of my formidable years, and I've lost count the number of times I've seen it. People have a rather love-hate relationship with the Wraith. They make fun of it, they call it campy, but at the same time, they love and adore it. I make no apologies for loving the Wraith. Give me a good, violent, vengeance story based on unrequited love, and throw in Randy Quaid. It's a no-brainer. For $13, you can own the best that this film has ever looked and get some great bonus features at the same time. My only real niggle was the use of the whole eco-friendly case, but listen, it was a standard case, you changed it out, it was easily replaceable with no great loss of aesthetic. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and of course, as always, please share this video with your friends. Like this video, give it the good thumbs up, subscribe, and of course, hit that little notification bell, and you'll be notified whenever we put out goodies just like this. We'll see you next Friday. Take care.